Oh,
deep. Cause
here's the questions.
Can we have that?
All right, thank you, Stan. I'm back with our third group of Ag Education and FFA students there this morning on FFA Day on KSMO. This was originally scheduled for about 2.5 weeks ago, and then Mother Nature come along and said, no, you can't have that now. We don't want to have school. So I know you all really were disappointed to be out of school with the ice and snow, but you know, that's just the breaks during the winter time. This is a good group. I've got first and second year students. They've all been good groups today, and this one will be no exception to that. I'm going to ask them if they would to introduce themselves, tell a little bit about, if you want to tell who your parents are, a little bit about yourself, that's fine, just however. And it doesn't matter who goes first. We can start there in the back, over here, over there, in the middle. It doesn't matter. Who would like to go first? Nobody wants to go first.
well, my name's Molly Fleener.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's all?
Yep.
You don't have any parents?
My parents are Matt and Jennifer Fleener.
I figured they might be. All right, who's next?
My name is Dally Johnson. I'm in 10th grade, and my mom and dad are Drew and Heather Johnson.
I'm Charlie Duncan. I'm in 9th grade, and my parents are Austin Duncan and Laura Connell.
My name's Connor Montoya. I'm in 10th grade, and my parents are Scott and Sarah Montoya.
My name is Madison King. I'm in 10th grade, and my parents are Amber King and James Reese.
Okay. Maddie, be sure and speak up to the max on your voice. You're a little lighter in the voice than some of the others. I think they picked up all right, because usually if there's a problem in hearing somebody, Ben will walk to the window or open the door and say, give me an idea. So just do the max if you can. This group, like I said, is first and second year students. And I don't know whether they mentioned that. Who's first year student? Charlie is?
Yeah.
Okay. You the only one that's first year? Okay. The rest of them are second year. You got selected out of all those Ag 1 students to come over with this bunch. So you should feel proud. Why did you decide to enroll in Ag Education, become an FFA member?
Because I truly thought that it would give me so much more experience, and I enjoy a lot of the things that I do in ag education. So me just being able to enjoy what I do instead of just having to sit there and be bored all day, it gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah, very good.
Just a lifetime of opportunities and meeting people, and like Charlie said, being able to go down to the ag building and not being up in the main building and being bored and being able to do real life stuff.
Somebody else?
Probably just the fact of learning, new life experiences, something you're going to actually probably put to work in your life, and just hearing stories about, my mom that was in FFA and how fun it was.
Yes, she was. Yep.
Yep. And just like they say, going down there in the middle of class if you want to, just because you're bored in your other classes, and being able to talk to everyone down there.
Yeah, we've talked to some other groups, and we'll probably delve on a little bit with this group too. The fact that how fast the day goes by, and as long as you're an ag class. So anyway,
I just feel like I get a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I weren't in this program. Get to improve myself a lot.
okay, good. All right. Get everybody there.
Just the opportunities and once in a lifetime stuff you get to do.
Okay. We heard a lot about it, and we thought, yeah, we need to try this. And then, of course, once we had the first year out of the way, then we decided to come back for a second year, a second dose of it. So that's really good. What's been your favorite FFA activities during your tenure? And again, we kind of pick on Charlie just a little bit because she's a first-year student, but we let her go first because she hasn't probably had the opportunity to be as many activities as the other of you. So she doesn't have to go first, but if she wants to, we'll let her. Yeah, we'll let her.
Okay, so my favorite experience I just got to do it this past weekend was getting to do my speaking contest at College of the Ozarks, and it was truly an experience that I loved because I love getting to talk and getting to share my experience, and I got to do that there, and it was really fun, and I'd recommend for anybody to do it if they love speaking.
What particular speaking area, topic?
I did Division 1, and I talked about why you should become an FFA member and all the benefits and all the opportunities you get.
Okay, so you guys are just going to defer to her. If I ask a question about how's ag benefited you, just say, Charlie will answer that for all of us. So Whatever works out. All right, others of you.
I got I got the opportunity to go to FFA camp last year, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Our CDE teams, me and 3 other girls did FFA knowledge, and we made it to state. And going to state convention was a good experience. And then also national convention was good for my freshman year and sophomore year.
Sure. All
Just
good
meeting new people and seeing like the opportunities in the booths, like stuff in agriculture and stuff like that.
all those things. Others of you.
I was probably going to a national convention. I got to meet a bunch of new people from a bunch of different states. I even talked to one guy from Iowa who I was saying how he did different stuff than we did, how we did similar stuff, and just hanging out with the guys from our chapter and getting to know them even a little better.
Hey, Connor. Very good.
I like the opportunity of like how we get to benefit the community and like how we went to Pull Tight not too long ago and helped plant trees. I love that we get to help the community.
Okay. You have a heart for service, obviously, from that comment, which we all need. And I know now in the modern ag education FFA, for a lot of the awards, you have to have some community service involved in that, service activities like that, or similar community cleanup or whatever that fills that need. Those are some of your activities. Did I ask you why you decided to enroll in ag education? Okay. I'm sorry. Once upon a time, I knew a few things, but I've forgotten most of them. Any other activities? Some other activities that you do. Come up with. We've had a lot of the same activities of almost every group, and outside of the last group, which was all first-year students, that's tough for all first-year students to answer some of these questions because they haven't had quite as many opportunities, and they're not all as motivated as Charlie to get involved in those different things, and that's cool. I mean that as a compliment, Charlie.
Thank you.
Some other FFA activities you've been involved in.
I got the opportunity to do Ag Ed on the Move and go to the elementary school and talk to the third graders about like what soybeans are and like the benefits of like beef and just stuff like that. It was like an 11-week class, and we went over there from 12:30 to 1:15.
Wow.
And it was cool because like now we will see the kids in public and they're like, oh, and come and give us a hug and just stuff like that. Just building that relationship with them and teaching them like agriculture. Like it's not bad, it's good. Like just.
Besides yourself, how many other ag students were involved in presenting that?
Probably.
What was there, like 10 of us, I think?
Yes, 10, and then we did R80 first semester, and 3 kids go to R2 on Thursdays, and then 3 go to R3, and then I don't think R1 or R4 does it this year.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a very good program that we do.
Is this the first year?
No, I think it's the 3rd maybe.
Sounds like it, and I'm not sure in the previous 2 years we've done this that anyone has mentioned, or they may have mentioned, I'd forgotten about it, but you've given more details about it, so I do. Ag on the Move.
Yep.
All right, very good. Anything else? Any other activities you've been involved in you'd really like to make sure?
To do beef days was super fun for me because when I was little and I got to go to beef days, I looked up to all the FFA members that were leading me around, and then now I realize I am that FFA member and I get to be a leader and get to show them everything that I wanted to know when I was their age. So that was really fun getting to be in their position.
Isn't it interesting how something that happened in 3rd grade transitions to, and you actually be involved in it then at a different level than as a high school 9th or 10th grader? That's pretty interesting. Good. Glad you mentioned that. Anything else?
Probably just really anything we have to do with the community. Like last week we did a big fish fry.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of orders, a lot of people come in. It's kind of just shows how the community kind of comes together to help out one group or another.
Very good, Connor. All right, if anybody has anything else to share there, that'd be great. Okay, let's talk about challenges. What's been the most challenging or difficult part of ag education / FFA for you? It doesn't matter who goes first.
I think for me, it was challenging myself. Like, you challenge yourself a lot with public speaking and contest teams. pushing yourself to always learn more, improve yourself. That's, I think, the hardest part.
Very good, Maddie.
Like Maddie said, public speaking. I did a speech. I did a fall speech my freshman year, and I was like, I can't do this. This is going to be bad. And then I ended up making it to districts, and then I did it again this year, and I made it to districts again. And it's helped me be able to just go up and talk to someone and not, oh my goodness, I can't do that, and make me have a sick stomach. It's really helped me there.
Developing confidence.
Yes.
Is such a valuable characteristic. And if we don't force ourselves to do some of these things, as Maddie kind of alluded to, we don't really develop that confidence. So the challenges are neat, sometimes not as initially as enjoyable as we'd like to have them, but I think a couple of you have already commented how much enjoyment you got out of that competition and the different speaking contests. What other challenges?
I think being able to push myself, because when I was writing my speech for my contest, I just kept rewriting it, and it just never sounded good to me. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm not going to be able to say this, and it makes sense, and everybody understand it. But then my ag teacher, Mr. Sanders, was like, hey, you got it, just rewrite it, and when it sounds good, let me know, and I'll proofread it. So I think just pushing myself that even if I don't think it's going to work out, it'll work out eventually. So just being able to have that motivation to get everything done and get that speech done, even if you think it doesn't sound good.
Okay. Excellent.
I don't have the confidence to, like, even think about doing a speech or stuff like that, so probably confidence.
Okay. Well, everybody's not cut out to be a public speaker, but everybody is cut out to develop some speaking skills. Enough, at least, that we become a better communicator. And I know we talk about, maybe you all don't talk about it, but a lot of folks in society talk about the fact that, and I don't mean this as negative as it sounds, but your generation tends not to communicate with one another. And so developing as much of that skill as you can is so very important. I know you do communicate with one another, but we do have to remember to lay those little old rectangular shaped boxes aside from time to time and have one-on-one with another human rather than I can remember when those first came out and I was taking students and activities are coming back and the front seat was texting to the back seat and I thought, oh my gosh, and of course that's just, yeah. All right, anything else to add on that particular topical area? I know contest teams were mentioned there, the career development events. And we have in ag education both what we call career development events and leadership development events. And of course, Charlie and Dally have both mentioned basically in the leadership development events, the LDEs, what they've been on, that's where public speaking falls. What are some of the other contest areas, either as a career development event or leadership development event?
Probably last year I did ag sales, and you have to think on the spot with some of the stuff. So like if they ask you a question, you gotta think on the spot almost as fast as they say it. You gotta be able to say, if they ask what's the price of this per ton, you gotta make something up, or you gotta kind of go off what you researched.
And hopefully what you make up is pretty close, pretty accurate.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, anything else?
I did poultry last year for my CDE, and just being able to look at the egg or look at the chicken nugget and, oh, this has a defect and we need to write that down, or, oh no, it's good. And just being able to study that, and it's good.
It is.
And then ag sales as well with Connor. It was like, I didn't go to area, but I went straight to districts, and I got in there and she asked me the question and I was like, I had to like make stuff up like on the spot. Like she asked, my seed is not right. I need people to come help me. So I was like, okay, it was super on the spot thinking.
All right, very good. Any other career development events anybody wants to talk about you've been involved in or what you're in right now?
I'm in equine evaluation, which is like pretty much understanding the composition of a horse and why it affects it, placing them.
And some different aspects of that, both you do a visual evaluation, right?
Yep.
You take an exam,
Mm-hmm.
written exam, and there's lots of, it's more complicated. Just like in horses, I know, again, going back, this applies to a lot of the different areas, like livestock, dairy, even poultry, equine. Sometimes students that come in with all this background and knowledge do not make the best judges or evaluators because they may have already preset concepts of a certain style or type, and that doesn't match up with what today's industry is calling for a beef steer or a goat or a horse or whatever. So some excellent CDs available in several of the groups we've talked about. There are a lot of them. You can find one that fits your interest, right? If you just do some searching. And of course, Mother Nature's made it very difficult for us to get really prepared on a lot of these with all this time off from the weather breaks that we've had. All right, have we talked about SAEs, what you do for your supervised agricultural experience? I don't think, have I?
No.
Oh, okay. What do you have for your SAEs? That's always one of the things I do first. I jump out of the box, and I didn't today. So go ahead, ladies. Or boys. Sorry, Connor. No, oh well, don't go there. Go ahead, students, whoever wants to go first.
I have an equine production SAE, which is breeding and selling.
Okay. You have some horses you own yourself?
Yes, I have a 2-year-old stud colt and a broodmare right now.
Other horses on the farm?
Yep.
Okay. You work with those as well?
Yes, sir.
Pretty involved in that. All right. What others of the SAE?
I work for my grandma as a farmhand around her house, around her little 250-acre farmish type thing. I just pretty much will do. I'll build the fence. I'll mow her yard, weed eat. Sometimes do a little brush hogging if she asks me to. Just a little bit of everything she tells me to do.
A general farm expert.
Yep.
All right.
My SAE is poultry production and beef ownership. I have 24 hens, and I sell the eggs, and then about this time right now I have 14 eggs in the incubator that I will get ready to hatch, so that I can just keep them going. And then I have 4 bottle calves, and then I'll sow those every year about August, and then I have 4 registered cows and 2 heifers, and then I'll sell the bulls off those and just keep it going.
Keep the heifers?
Yep.
Cycle through.
Yep.
Do a good job with the bottle calves?
Yeah.
You lose one now and then?
No. They
Good.
no. They've been good. This year is definitely the best year because I've been doing it for 4 years now, and this year they're super. They'll as soon as I walk out of the house, they'll start bawling, and they're super clingy, but they're good.
Well, I need to keep in mind who to take that calf to that I need to have off as a bottle calf. I had an old cow, had a couple of twins, and I had to find somebody for one of those twins. I just can't. She wasn't capable of rearing both of them, so I'll keep that in mind. Dally Johnson, she might be the one.
Oh, goodness.
All right, what others for their SAEs? Charlie's?
I have rabbit production, so I get to breed and sell my rabbits to mainly kids at the expo that are wanting to do a meat pen at the expo. That's who I try to sell them to, so they get that opportunity. But that's what my SAE is.
You've done rabbits for several years, haven't you, Charlie Sue?
My SAE is market steer. I raise it up, show it at the expo.
Oh, yeah. Market steer and expos. Seems like it's a long ways off, but it'll be here. You weigh your steer in last week? What do you weigh?
860 pounds.
Big boy.
Big boy.
Okay.
He's already a big boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'll have to, it'll be you got to get him, what's the minimum daily gain he's got to make? Tough questions, Mr. P.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, I think.
I'm not
ADG.
100% sure.
Yeah, he's got to achieve an average daily gain, or he doesn't get the show
It's
himself.
His average daily gain is 6 pounds.
Well, he keeps that up. But gosh, he's going to be huge by July, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Okay, got everybody's SAE, I believe, discussed, so we got that one out of the way. How has ag education and FFA benefited you?
Public speaking for sure, and being able to like help the community out, and just giving us opportunities, and just lifetime skills for sure.
Okay. Confidence and experience.
Mhm.
Others have.
Probably building leadership skills. Like becoming an officer will help. It helps a lot. Being a leadership, doing leadership, and just being able to take charge and do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. You had on your officer shirt, I think, first when I met you over this morning.
Yeah.
And this year, first time we've ever done this, or the ag teachers have ever done this, Mr. Sanders, Ms. Johnson, said everybody needs to look nice and be showing off this really nice looking Salem FFA hoodie. And so Connor had to change. He wasn't the only one, but I won't single anybody else out. He's the only guy in this group, so we'll just keep him singled out. We didn't get everybody's answers. No.
I think getting to have all of these opportunities that I know I would have never been able to do. So, like, just being able to go to these contests and go to these field trips and go to see all these new things that I would have never gotten to see. And then Aga showed me, like, hey, we have so many opportunities. So I think just all the new things that I've gotten to try just because I became an FFA member and joined ag education.
Very well said. Maddie, I don't want to leave you out.
I feel like it's just helped me come out of my comfort zone, and the support system that the FFA and ag community gives you is so kind and just nice.
Pose a question to you, and again, with the first year student and second year students, just kind of think about what if next week you had the opportunity to visit with some 8th graders that were getting ready to enroll for the fall school year. What would you tell them about ag education FFA?
It would be the best decision they make going into high school, because you can get so many skills and develop so many leadership skills and just opportunities that you will never get again if you don't join the FFA.
Good point. They only pass you by one
Yeah.
time, so yeah, I get them. Yeah, it's never too late to get some of them, because again, I'm sure you have some other 10th graders that are not in ag and FFA that you visit with, and sometimes you can kind of encourage one of them to maybe get involved as well. So it doesn't pass you by completely, but you sure miss some things when you don't come into Ag 1, that's for sure. You do. What else on my list of questions here that I like to ask? Anyone else, something that you'd say to an 8th grader that Dally didn't deal with?
I think
Probably the fact that you get, like Dally said, leadership skills. You get to meet new people. You get out a lot of school too.
I think that you get to gain so much. Like a lot of I know when I was in 8th grade, I was so scared I wasn't going to make any friends in high school. But you make so many friends through FFA, so it just helps you get that sense of peace that you're going to have friends, you're going to have a group to hang out with. And with sports, kind of you can get singled out easily in sports if you're not as good as everybody else, but in FFA, everybody has a seat at the table, and nobody's going to get left out. Everybody's got a spot somewhere. So just like that, you can get left out with sports, you can get left out with certain clubs, but FFA, everybody gets a chance to do what they love.
And I will share with our listeners on radio, viewers got to see it, but all the heads were bobbing up and down in agreement with what Charlie said about there's a place for everybody in ag education. And then we hope there'll be a place for them, and we hope they become part of the FFA as well. We're down to about our last minute or two. Anything anyone would like to add here before we really recognize our sponsors? Okay. Everybody says, no, I've pretty well shared all I want to share today. I failed to ask Melba today how many sponsors we've had of FFA Day on KSMO, but I know for the 6 slots we've got, there's got to be at least 35 or 40 sponsors, and we do appreciate each and every one of them. And each session, I've asked somebody to read and recognize our sponsors. And so, Dally, I kind of picked on her a little bit, having known her since. Actually, I hate to tell you, I won't tell you, I'll tell her later how long I've known Dally. But anyway, it's a long time. Dally, if you would you recognize the sponsors on the list that you have?
Roberts and Judson's Lumber Company, Jet Tire and Auto, Century 21, South Central Realty, Beth Frizzell, GRI Broker Associate, Chilton Oil, Terrell Complete Auto Care, K&H Auto Supply, Godey Excavating LLC, Duncan Family Chiropractic.
Okay, with that said, I thank this group of 5 individuals who have done a very, very good job. With that said, we'll just turn it back over to Stan with our extra of this particular segment of FFA Day on KSMO.